Mr. Young asked if I knew how to bend the mic down. Very funny. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I know it's been a long night, and I'll keep the remarks short. My name is Haley Shanks. I am a lifelong resident of the district. I was educated through Thomas County Central, so I attended school here. My last time on the stage was probably in a play in high school. I have 2 higher education degrees in government policy. That's what I went to college for. My parents encouraged me to go and get a degree that I really felt passionate about, something that I could really, learn more about, that I was interested in, and then I could figure out a career after that. It turns out that liberal arts degrees are a dime a dozen nowadays, and you really have to struggle, to get a job out there. I worked on a few political campaigns, and then I saw that 173 was going to be open because Mike Cowan was going against Congressman Bishop for the 2nd Congressional District. And so I decided to run 2 years ago. When I was a little kid, I would tie my blanket around my neck and I would march down our hallway. We have this very, very long hallway. And I would hum "Hail to the Chief," marching to breakfast. It has always been a lifelong dream of mine to serve the public through public office. It has been something that I have always been interested in, and I have always worked within that field. I'm what they call a citizen lobbyist. I'm certainly not paid to do it, but there are issues that I feel passionate about, and I use my right as a citizen to go to Atlanta and meet our leaders and talk with them and tell them my point of view on things. And I will say that I've had experience with Tim Golden in the State Senate, and I've had experience with Amy Carter, and I hope that you will look at both of their opponents very strongly. It does not bode well when a candidate won't come to something like this. There are prior engagements, there are excuses, and that's of course understandable, but at the same time, you all should be the priority, not necessarily a big, giant meeting with someone else, within the political bureaucracy. I want to talk really quickly about the Charter School Amendment. I have come out against the Charter School Amendment. I've done everything in my power to voice my opposition to it. I absolutely don't understand how we can think about funding a 2nd tier of schools when we don't have the money available to make sure that our bus drivers and our lunch, ladies and gentlemen, get health insurance and are treated at the same proper level as a teacher. Because when my opponent votes for the budget in Atlanta and it cuts education by a dramatic amount, and the local superintendent goes to her and says, "You're going to force the board to raise local property taxes," and she still votes for that budget, and then property taxes come out and they're going to be raised because we want to make sure that all teachers and all support professionals are treated at a certain level, a level of dignity and health. And then we come out and we say, "Oh no, we're not for raising local property taxes. That's terrible. What a terrible thing." We get these nice shiny mailers in our mailbox, right? And they say that we've cut taxes. There have not been any tax cuts. It's been tax shifts. When you take money from one area, it appears locally on us. And so although my opponent says that she is for lowering taxes, although she says that she's not for changing the Constitution, she says she's a proud steward of the Constitution, she still has yet to make up her mind about the Charter School Amendment. When you elect a representative, to speak for you in Atlanta, to speak for you in DC, you expect them, one, that you are their special interest, you are the lobbyist, right? They're listening to you and not the people outside of the state that are funding their campaigns. I haven't taken a single dollar from a company, a firm, a PAC, a corporation, nothing. I have money from you and my friends and my family and my mother. My mom actually couldn't be with us tonight. She was feeling a little bit under the weather. I've actually been dealing with allergies, but we would really appreciate not only your support, but also your prayers. Not everyone likes to talk about the background side of politics, but it's not all fun and games. Getting up here is very stressful. Thinking about what you're going to speak about is very stressful. People ask you questions all the time. And it's a very hard balance to keep healthy in your own personal life and then also try and win, So I ask for your prayers not just for myself and my family and what we're dealing with in this race, but also the other candidates and their families. I would really appreciate your support. I do feel like the charter school amendment is the wrong way to go for Georgia. I feel like we have to look at a long-term solution to public education in Georgia. I'm certainly for charter schools. We've seen great charter schools in the area, but we've got to look at ending furlough days and those kinds of things first before we can start looking at creating more schools. So I appreciate you all sticking around. I'm going to be back in the lobby. I have my signs. I have copies of my platform. My website is really easy. It's shankforgeorgia.com. And I'm Haley Shank, and I'm running for State Representative District 173. Really quickly, the district goes the southwestern part of Thomas County, all of Grady County, and then about the bottom half, a little bit more than half of Decatur County, Attapulgos, and Bainbridge. But I appreciate you all sticking around, and I really appreciate you coming out as a political nerd. I love when we all get together and there's conversation and discourse. I love it. So you've seen me at these meetings when I wasn't a candidate, and you'll see me after. I've always been a voice within this community, and I'll continue to be a strong voice come November 7th, which most people don't like to talk about, but the real fight and the real battle starts November 7th, and I ask for your vote. Thank you.